Yeah, you know where to be. For real talk, come see. Hot topics, recaps, reactions for you. Genuine laughs and unbiased views. We keeping it real, critical and true. So welcome to Roma Lash TV. You're welcome, come chill with me.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome if this is your first time here. This is Roma Lash TV and Roma Lash is me. So you already know, you see the screen. You know what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Baddies USA, the second episode. A lot happened in this episode. Oh my gosh. So let's not waste no more time. Let's just get into it. Let me put some background music because this is kind of like, put a little background music before we get into the video. I know it's a little late, me making this video. Should have been made days ago, but life be lifing, child. Life be lifing. A girl be busy. All right. So let's raise it up a little bit, that background music. All right, cool. So this episode starts off with Biggie, as you can see, loudmouth Biggie, big Dominican. So her and Smiley get into it. This was long overdue, man. This was long overdue since what? Baddies, what was it? West, East? Yeah. So they get into it. There were like 50 fights going on at the same time. So yeah, this was just like, if you saw the first episode, this was just a continuation of the banquet bar mitzvah dinner thing they were supposed to have. That, you know what it is when the baddies have dinner. They never eat. They never actually eat no food. It's just fights, fists. That's it. That's all they be serving. So, yeah, so Smiley, Biggie, they get into it. Who else got into it? As for the Smiley Biggie fight, I guess you could say Biggie. I mean, it was kind of fair because, Smiley was giving it to her. So, I don't know. Smiley was getting her in the beginning, and then after, yeah, Biggie just, yeah. She tore her up. I think Smiley got tired after a while. But anywho, I like this confessional look by Biggie. She looks good. I like the blue hair. She looked good with the blue hair. And what else happened? Biggie and Smiley. Yeah, this confessional look, I don't know. The shades look nice. What is this here on her lip? What is that? That don't look kosher. Anyway, so blah blah blah, they fight. I mean, neither of these girls could really fight, so I mean, I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't hoping for much. Cole Killer's confessional look good also. You got Anna and Gretch. This look good too. I love me a blonde wig with like brown, the mix with the brown and the blonde. I love me a wig like that, especially in this updo. I love it. Tommy, she always serve looks. One thing with Tommy, she gonna serve craziness and she gonna serve looks. Okay, so yeah, I'm here for it. So yeah, this was, look at these knots. Look at Anna did that. Little Anna did that to you, Gretch. Jesus. She must have been wearing some rings. Ain't no way Anna's tiny little bony hand did that to you, Gretch. She must have been wearing wigs. Wigs. They all wear wigs. So, what next? Tommy came in. Scotty came in. I like this look too. This confessional look that Scotty had. I'm loving the ginger hair. Like that. Yeah. Tinka and Kokilla, they went at it again. I think this was probably like their fourth round, Tinka put on Cold Killer's hat because, she's such a troll. So yeah, they were fighting. This is when Scotty came out. She had her 50-inch bust down girl, looking good as always. Looking good. She a mommy to be. She what? She ain't Scotty with the body no more. She's Scotty with the baby. Okay? All right. So what else now? What else happened? Yeah, these two fought. Who else fought after that? I was really expecting Tink, just to stay on the topic of Tink and Cold Killer. I was expecting Tink to do a little more damage to Cold Killer. I mean, we all know Cold Killer can't fight. Like, she can't even beat up Summer, child. Summer was tossing her left, right, and center on Baddies Africa. So I mean, Tink was tossing her too. She was tossing Cold Killer, but I mean, yeah. You should have, as big as you are, that's the point I'm trying to make. As big as Tinka is, I was expecting her to do a little bit more damage to Cold Killer. But it is what it is. It ain't like she like a heavy hitter. She ain't one of the best fighters on the show anyway. So then we have Lex. Where's she? Yeah. We have Lex. And she sees Tavy, so she call out the fade with Tavy. So her and Tavy, they get into it. They get to squabbling. Oh yeah, this confessional look good too. I'm loving like the red burgundy ginger looks. Like, I don't know, like I don't know, I think that might be my next hair color to try, because like I'm really liking the ginger and the red, especially the burgundy. Like everybody that has it on, like they just look really good. Like they look tea. So anywho, yeah, so they get to squabbling. Tavy, Lex, y'all already know who won that fight. I will say Tavy's getting better when it comes to fighting Lex. It was giving Ty a little bit, but when I watch the fight like in slow-mo, Lex got that. Lex got that, but Tavy always gives her a good fight. I will say that. Tavy, I like to see Tavy and Lex fights because it's always like it always looks pretty close. Tavy always gives like Lex a good fight, so I like that. So then Lex called out a fade with Fauna. And yeah, Fauna really thought she did something, but Lex got that. Like there wasn't like, yeah. Fauna could fight. She could fight. Like between like out of her trio, Killa and her and what's the next one? Nunu 2.0. She is the best fighter. But TK can beat Lex. Okay, y'all know I call her TK, TK with the race. Fuck a beat. I was trying to beat the case, but I ain't beat the case, bitch. I did the race. Yeah, that's TK little sister. So yeah, so then we see Tanisha. She arrives. She comes out, in style as always. Tanisha remind me of my mom, man. The way she remind me of my mom. So anywho, yeah, she come in. I think Tanisha was the only one that ate that day, child. She was the only one I saw actually eating food. So yeah, she comes in. What happened? Chrisean was like trying to be like mediator, finding out why everybody fighting, basically trying to, kind of doing Ivory's job last season, trying to be like, not coach, but trying to be like bodyguard, trying to separate fights and stuff, not really trying to see nobody fight, trying to find out what's the root of the problem, why you fighting her, what's the beef, what's tea, so that was her job really. Yeah. So then what do we see? Yeah, Tavy was just bragging about like her and Fauna jumping Lex at the reunion. Like, that ain't nothing to brag about, just because y'all can't beat up Lex one-on-one. Y'all want to Anyway, that's the only way. And the funny thing is, y'all jumped Lex and y'all still didn't do no damage to her. So that's the real key. Anywho, so then we see they argue a little bit, Tavy and Lex, about about really the fact that Lex got jumped. And, Lex was basically saying, yeah, I owed you that from the reunion. I owed you a fade, you and Fauna, because y'all jumped me at the reunion. So that's why I got a one-on-one today. You're done. You're done. Next caller. So that's basically what Lex told them. She's done. She done with the beef, between Tavy and Fauna. She just had to get that out of the way because they did jump her, right? Right. Moving on. So then we see Fauna was talking her shit, whatever. She, like I said, she really thought she did something to Lex, but she didn't. So then we see Tesehki and Summer, they get into it. Okay, and it was long overdue. Honestly, this was long overdue since Baddies Midwest, because Summer really started running her mouth about Tesehki since Baddies Midwest. Why Tesehki didn't pop Summer at the reunion, I don't know. She was too occupied with Dolly and crashing out, because she couldn't beat up Dolly. But yeah, so 2 seasons later, we're here. A bit more has been said, but that's really because of your sister, So anywho, Tesehki, she really want to press that issue with Summer and not Chrisean. But, it is what it is. So, Tesehki, she going after Summer. Summer's not really trying to fight her. She's like, girl, get out of my face. Like, why are you in front of my face? Get out of my face. And it's like, she backing up from Tesehki. Tesehki trying to swing on her. Like, and Tesehki had she was really like, it was so... Tesehki is just so cringe and so corny sometimes, because she really hyping up and doing the most for Summer. And I get it, Summer was talking shit, so yeah, you owe her a fade, but she was really it's like, girl, this is Summer, you really don't need to do all of that for Summer. You really I'm smacking bitches, and it's like, girl, this is little Summer, girl, you really don't need to do all of that for Summer. She don't even want the fade with you. Not saying she shouldn't give it to her because Summer was running her mouth, but this is Summer. Come on, you don't even need all that energy for little Summer. Tesehki, she's so cringe. I have more respect for Ivory than I do for Tesehki. Anywho, so she really trying to press the issue with Summer. And Summer was like, like I said before, get away from me, blah, blah, blah. And Tesehki's like, look, I'ma spare you. I ain't even gonna punch you. I'm gonna slap you. Okay? I'ma spare you. I'm sparing bitches. I'm sparing hoes. So, like I said, Summer was backing up, but Summer was swinging. Summer was swinging. She was swinging at Tesehki. She was scary, but she wasn't scary. She didn't, let me rephrase that. She was down to get in the paint with Tesehki, even though she was backing up. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, she backing up and shit, but she's swinging. Summer, one thing with Summer, she's not just gonna let you hit her and get away with it. Even if she don't want to fight, she'll swing back. So I could give her that, as the least she could do. I mean, you can't just stand there and let somebody knock you upside your head like a punching bag. So I like Tesehki's confessional look too. She really gaining weight, man. She really becoming a big back. And I don't know what it is with Tesehki and Chrisean. I don't know if they smoking too much or whatever, but they're not far from sounding like Biggie. These hoes, their voices just got deeper. I don't know where all the baritone came from, but these girls, their voices they sound deep now. I noticed it. I don't know if y'all noticed it. I definitely noticed it. So, what else was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Yeah, I like this look. Kind of given like professional punk rocker vibes. So yeah, Tesehki was just walking around slapping Summer. Summer was backing up, not trying to have an issue, but still slapping back. They're saying this whole narrative about like Lex and Dolly not really having Summer's back, it needs to kind of be like, it needs to stop, because Summer and not Summer, Lex and Dolly were in a way like defending Summer. They didn't jump in the fight to like, you know, fight Tesehki, but they were like trying to block Tesehki from getting to Summer. They were trying to, they were doing that. They were, if you watch the episode and you pay attention, because the first time I saw the episode, I didn't really notice that because I was just looking at Summer and Tesehki. But after watching the episode a second time, Dolly and Lex did try to block Summer from getting hit by Tesehki, and to block Tesehki from really getting to Summer. Although they didn't jump in, I mean, you know, they did their part. You know, they did their part. They did something. Okay, so the whole narrative that like they didn't do shit, they just stood there and let Summer, like that needs to stop. Okay, that needs to stop. So yeah, they were doing this for a whole, I don't know, like 10 minutes or so. And oh, why am I going backwards? Why am I going backwards? Okay. So next, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Oh, yes. Smiley. Y'all know Smiley is kind of epileptic. Yo, Biggie, she really be, without her wigs, Biggie, she really be looking like a dude, child. And this woman had the audacity. This woman had the audacity to say, sorry, y'all, I was reading something. This woman had the audacity to call Smiley ugly and fat. Child, you are bigger than Smiley. Don't get me wrong. Smiley a big bag, but Biggie is bigger than Smiley. So anywho, Smiley, y'all know by now she's epileptic. So she had a seizure. I don't know why everybody still thinks that Smiley was faking it. You know, even with her fighting Biggie, you can tell, like, you know, she defended herself, but you could tell she was not really in the mood to fight, or she didn't look like she was, you know, like, I don't think the seizure was fake. Okay. Given Smiley's body language, just her state, before and while she was fighting Biggie, like she even tried to walk off the set. Smiley tried to walk off the set before Biggie swung on her. So I think that was for a reason. Okay, I feel like Smiley probably felt that, you know, she was gonna maybe pass out or something, and that's why she tried to walk off the set. Because that's how the episode starts off, you know. She tries to walk off. Biggie's like, get back on the set, get back on the set, you know, calling out the fade. So the fact that Smiley tried to walk off the set kind of lets me feel like she probably knew that a seizure was coming. So I don't think this was fake at all. I know a lot of people think it was. I don't think this was fake. Yeah, a lot of people were mocking her. Biggie was mocking her. Sapphire thought she was faking it. Yeah. But it is what it is. The girl already said she was epileptic, so I don't know why you guys would think she's faking it at this point. I think maybe the liquor brings it out even more. Cause y'all know these hoes, they be drunk. Like, Zeus be feeding them liquor and chips, okay? Tequila and nachos, okay? So I think she probably had a little bit to drink and she started feeling a little bit sick. And, you know, after the fight with Biggie, it was a bit much. Anna even hit her too at one point, like right before she passed out. So it is what it is. So yeah, she was carried out. She was carried out, you know. Biggie was still trolling her. Yeah, you left in that ambulance, whatever. So yeah, she gets carried out, and that was it for Smiley child. That was it for Smiley. For this episode. So then Lex and Chrisean start going at it because Chrisean was talking to Tommy and was basically saying, you know, like they let Summer get beat up by my sister. They really just stood there and let Summer get beat up by my sister. And she didn't call no names, but you know, who are Summer's friends? Lex and Dolly, right? So Lex overhears this, and Lex is like, you know, she's, you know, starts calling out Chrisean, you know, and she's like, you know, like, who are you talking to type of thing, you know? And Chrisean is just like, you know, I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking to you directly. I'm speaking in general. And Lex is like, look, you're speaking about us. Okay, so you might not be speaking directly to me, but you're speaking about me. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna address you directly. We ain't doing no subs over here. We ain't doing okay, like say it to my face type of thing. So anyway, Chrisean is just like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. Lex, you got the floor, this that. And Lex was just explaining herself, like, you know, what did you want me to do? Jump your sister? Did you want me to jump your sister for, you know, I didn't agree with what Summer said, so I wasn't going to get into that fight. It is what it is. Okay, I see her point, you know. As we all know, Lex is not a person to jump in fights unless it's necessary, unless it's like a 2 or 1 or some shit like that. So I understood where Lex was coming from, even though Tesehki is much stronger than Summer, but Summer ran her mouth, so it is what it is. So they keep going back and forth. It was more so Lex was really doing the talking, and Lex was really like, you know, letting Chrisean know, you know, why, you know, what's tea and why she did do and why she didn't do certain things, basically. Okay, so what next? Yeah, Chrisean made a comment that I agreed with, and she said, you know, the clicks be fake. Y'all clicks be fake. Y'all don't really be riding for each other for real. The clicking up shit, it be fake. And I agree with. That was probably the only thing Chrisean said that I really, really agree with. The clicks do be fake. The clicking up shit do be fake. So yeah, she clocked that tea. Lex didn't have much to say about that, but you know, it is what it is. So you know, Rolly, she kind of interjects and says, you know, there was a conversation that was had, but at the same time, you know, if you say certain things on the internet, you know, you gotta stand on it. You know, you gotta stand on it, and you know, whatever happens after that happens. So anyway, what else happened this episode? Lex and Chrisean went at it. We discussed that. Rolly kind of interjected. At one point, Rolly was just like, look, I want to, the whole Chrisean thing, the whole Chrisean Tesehki thing, it was addressed. People were talking about it. Everybody kind of got involved in that conversation, like a, you know, like a group discussion type of thing. And yeah, almost forgot. Tink and Tommy. So I think I passed that clip, but Tink was basically telling Rolly, listen, If you felt like you ran into bullets, that's your business. I didn't. I gotta get my issue. So I do like this confessional look by Tinka. I think I even said that in the last video. But girl, you need to do something about that acne. Y'all got too much money to be walking around looking like this. Even under the makeup, it's clear as day. That acne is bad, child. I don't know. Maybe go the natural route. Wash your face with some rice water. I don't know, child. But you gotta fix that. Y'all got too much money to be walking around looking like this. So anywho, Tinka, she sees her chance, and you know, while Tommy's distracted over the Summer Tesehki, because after a while they did discuss it, you know, and Summer did say to Tesehki, you know, it was an issue that, you know, people were talking about on the internet and whatever. So, you know, like, it wasn't just me who brought up the allegations, who threw the allegations in your face, which is true. Summer had a point with that. You know, everybody be trolling Tesehki online for that every chance they get. You know, it's not just Summer. Summer's probably the only person on the Baddies cast who trolled Tesehki about it. But she's not the only person online who be trolling Tesehki about those allegations. That's why I feel like Tesehki really needs to go after Chrisean. And yes, they made up and stuff, but I mean, if you made up with Chrisean, I mean, let it go with Summer. I just don't feel like how you can be angry at Summer for saying what she said when the reason why she said what she said was because of things your sister said. So if you can forgive Chrisean, forgive Summer. That's all. I feel like Summer should have just apologized and Tesehki should have let it go. Because I don't see why you want to fight Summer and not Chrisean. I just feel like Tesehki isn't angry enough at Chrisean for me. That's just how I feel. Okay, so I feel like what should have happened was Summer should have apologized and Tesehki should have just let it go. Because if you could let it go with Chrisean and she started that rumor, you can let it go with Summer. But I mean, Tesehki does not have. Let's face. If Summer wasn't on this season, there really would be no reason for Tesehki to be here, because Tesehki already made up with Chrisean. She doesn't have any beef with anybody else. So okay, let me go after Summer. Because Summer did say blah blah blah. Let me go after Summer. Let me let Summer be my storyline this season, because she really would not have a storyline if Summer was not on. Like, I'm just being honest, guys. I'm just calling a spade a spade. So anywho, so after all that gets done, you know, Tommy was, you know, preoccupied in that little conversation. So she sees her chance and she sneaks Tommy. She grabs her by her wig. I think this was right when it happened. She grabs Tommy by her wig. Nobody saw that coming, child. Nobody. You see Sapphire? Sapphire was like, whoo, who was that? So she grabs Tommy. This is Tommy, by the way. The back of Tommy's head. She snatches Tommy's wig. Tommy did not see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. And yeah, child. Tink sort of got her lick back. Okay. She snatched Tommy. She didn't get a chance to do anything else, but she definitely snatched Tommy by the frontal. So there was that. What else happened this episode? Okay, so right after that, Sapphire, she ate with this. I almost forgot, because, you know, Sapphire, she kind of be like furniture sometimes. No shade. But yeah, Sapphire, this confessional look definitely ate. She ate the black and gold. I love a black and gold combo. The hair was good too, like the jewelry, everything, you know. Sapphire looked good. Okay, she looked good. So there was that. What else? So yeah, Summer. What is on Fauna's nails? What design is that? I almost thought Looked like the Jamaican flag almost on her nails. Anywho, so yeah. Summer and Tesehki, they had a little back and forth verbally, blah 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 blah. And then Rolly kind of got, oh yeah, this was Dolly explaining herself as to why she didn't jump in the fight with Tesehki and Summer. You know, it is what it is. She gave her explanation. You know, stand alone, stand together, just don't drift apart, just don't fall apart. I think that's what she said. And child, that did not age well, because we all know what's going on with the big three right now. There is no more big three. So I found that interesting when Dolly said, you know, we stand alone, we stand together, but we never fall apart, because that sure did not age well, child. So anywho, yeah, so they were just discussing the whole situation again. And after a while, we see Rolly. And oh, before that, almost forgot. Mariah and Summer went for another round. Okay, I mean, I didn't really care to see this, but okay, I guess. You know, they're in the same weight class, same height class. You know, Mariah is Tesehki's, you know, pet dog. She's her little lap dog, so, you know, you know what I mean? Like, she gotta show her master, you know, she gotta prove herself to her master, basically, you know, she gotta, she Tesehki lapdog, you know, it is what it is, you know, so, you don't want to do that? I'll do it for you, master, I'll do it for you. That's what Mariah is to Tesehki. She her little lapdog, so, you know, it is what it is. So she went and she fought Summer, and child, I had to watch this fight like 3 times to figure out who won. Because this fight was so ass, okay? This fight was ass, okay? Honestly, like, Summer won, but like I said, I had to watch this fight like 3 times to decide on a winner. Because, like, they were just windmilling and just punching the air. I will say, Summer got like 3 hits in, Mariah got 1, so they were missing a lot of hits. They were both missing a lot of hits, okay? Summer, I mean, Mariah missed like all her hits except maybe 1. And yeah, Summer, she missed like all her hits except maybe 3, but she did get a good hold on Mariah, though, I will say that. And it's like, Mariah, child, like, after all these years of you being on Baddies, you would think by now you would know how to fight, you know? But child, she can't fight, man. She need Tesehki. Girl, you gotta be Tesehki lapdog. Like, I don't even blame her. You need to be Tesehki lapdog, because you need that protection, child. You need her protection. Even though Tesehki don't be fighting in her fights. We've seen Mariah fight for Tesehki so many times. We've yet to see Tesehki fight for Mariah. Isn't that crazy? We've seen Tesehki fight for Anna, but not Mariah. And Mariah's still trying to prove herself, child. She's still trying to prove her loyalty. So it's such a shame. Anywho. So, yeah, this is the part that I wanted to get into. Rolly, you know, she got a little fed up. Like, you know, she basically told Tesehki and them, look, like, this is cool and all. This was fun. You know, this little back and forth you got with, you know, little bit Summer. But I got some issues that I want to address with Miss Tanisha. I want to have my conversation with her. I want to have my time with her. So y'all need to, like, just end this, you know, DEAD this, and let me go handle my business with Tanisha. So, you know, everybody's, you know, letting Tanisha know that, you know, Rolly want to talk to you about something. Rolly want to have a chat with you. So Tanisha's like, what? About what? I don't know this lady. And, child, you know this lady. You don't know her, but, you know, y'all been... I remember when they were taking shots at each other on IG. So it's like, yeah, Tanisha, you gotta it's time. Like, you know, I really wanted to see this because the whole Tesehki Summer thing, that beef is weak. Like, I have, like, it's not interesting. Like, I don't care. It's Tesehki and Summer. Like, next, like, ain't nobody checking for that. You know, that's still beef from like 2 seasons ago. Ain't nobody really cares about that. I wanted to see Tesehki versus not Tesehki. I wanted to see Rolly versus Tanisha. So when Rolly called this this not fade, but when she called this out, I was like, yes, let's get to it. I want to see this, you know. So yeah, Tesehki looked like, okay, why do I keep saying Tesehki? Tanisha looked like, that's what it is, both their names start with T. So Tanisha looking over here like, what does this bitch have to say to me? What does she want to talk to me about? Whatever. Like I said, I don't know why Tanisha looks so surprised. You know, you've been going at it with Rolly online. You know damn well you and Rolly been taking shots at each other. So I don't know why she was so surprised that Rolly called out a chat with her. But it is what it is, child. So they start talking. And the thing was, Rolly was really upset about Tanisha calling her a bully over the Slim situation. If y'all don't remember on Baddies Midwest, Rolly was bullying Slim. I'm sorry, she was bullying Slim. It is what it is. And now you want to press an issue with someone for calling you a bully? I mean, if that don't make you look like a bully, I mean, I don't know what does. So anywho, yeah, that's really where it stemmed from. But let's call a spade a spade. You were bullying Slim. Okay, you talked about her son. She talked about your son. You spoke about her father, who is deceased, by the way. Y'all were even Steven. But you kept fighting Slim. You kept fighting her. So yes, you bullied her. I don't care what she said about your son. You bullied her. You talked about her father. That should have been the end of that. Y'all ran a fade. That should have been the end of that. But you kept running fades with Slim. You humiliated her. You kept running fades with her. It was just too much. You even snuck her. And it's like, a big back like you really don't need to sneak somebody like Slim. She's like a quarter of your size. So anywho, yes, you were a bully, Rolly. You were a bully. Tanisha was not wrong for calling you a bully. She was all in the right to do so. So anyway, they have a talk about that. Rolly explains herself, and she's basically like, you know, because Slim spoke about my son, that's why I felt like I had to keep going. Anywho, but she does kiss Tanisha's ass a little bit. She lets her know, listen, you are my favorite bad girl. When I used to watch the Bad Girls Club, you were my favorite bad girl. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, like, that's why it hurt me when you said what you said. So, Rolly ended up apologizing to Tanisha. Tanisha was like, you know, you're a real ass bitch. And I can respect you. And, you know, I didn't want to be here, but I'm here. And, you know, Chrisean called that out. Chrisean clocked her a T. Chrisean was like, bitch, you wanted to be here because you was posting about that shit. You wanted to be here. You definitely wanted to be here. So, yeah, Chrisean clocked her T. And, you know, long story short, they made up. Like I said, Rolly apologized to Tanisha. And Tanisha apologized to her for her part. I really don't feel like Tanisha needed to apologize to Rolly. But she did anyway. They made up. They hugged it out. And that was pretty much it for them. They hugged it out. Where's the clip where they hugged it out? Yeah, this is when Chrisean was calling her out. And anyway, yeah, child, they hugged it out. So moving on, what happened next? I think this was when Lemmy shows up, because, you know, We already had like 50 fights, you know, in this one place. Between last episode and this episode, we had like 50,000 fights now. So after the 50,000 fights are done, Lemmy shows up and he's like, look, y'all, we're not gonna see too much of Natalie this season because we want to we want to find another leader who can go alongside Natalie and kind of run Baddies. Okay, so that being said, what was I gonna say? Yeah, there was this thing online talking about Lemmy was looking for a replacement for Natalie. That's not what it was. They're not looking for a Natalie replacement. They're looking for a Natalie kind of like a co-CEO, if you will. Okay, you know how they say Natalie's the CEO, even though she's not really the CEO. It's Lemmy who calls all the shots. Let's clock it. Lemmy calls all the shots when it comes to Baddies. Okay, that's why bitches who don't even like or respect Natalie can come on the show anytime. Because Lemmy, is the real CEO of Baddies. Natalie just have the chain. That's it, that's all. Anywho, so that being said, Lemmy lets it be known that they want somebody to run Baddies alongside Natalie. Not replace Natalie, but alongside Natalie. They're looking for leaders, not a new CEO. They're looking for leaders. Now, everybody keeps saying Rolly. I don't want Rolly. I'm sorry, I don't want Rolly. Rolly is biased, and Rolly is too, they need somebody who, I can more see Tink than Rolly. Rolly is too emotional. To be a leader, you have to lead with, it has to be logic over emotions. You have to think about the bag before getting in your feelings. And I feel like Rolly is too sensitive. She's too emotional. She's biased. She doesn't talk to the girls. She talks at them. She screams too much. I don't see Rolly as a leader, really. She is bossy, but I can more see Tink. Okay? Tink puts the bag before her emotions. She puts business first and feelings after. And that's how you gotta be when you're a leader. I can even see Tommy. Tommy would be a better leader, in my opinion, alongside Natalie than a Rolly. Not Scotty, because Scotty's she's too fragile. Scotty is a follower. Scotty is a pushover. She's, it would make sense, because she is the CEO's baby mama. But she just don't have the personality to be a leader. She doesn't. Okay? I could see somebody like Tink. I could see somebody like Tommy. But not a Rolly. Not a Rolly. She's been on the show long enough. She should get it, based on like seniority. But she doesn't have the personality to. First of all, her and Natalie be getting into it every 2 minutes. So I don't think that's good. Every 2 minutes, her and Natalie be getting into it. I feel like Natalie and maybe someone like Tommy or Tink should probably lead Baddies. Not Rolly. That's just my opinion. What else happened? Oh yes. Also, after he said that, he did mention that Scotty had an announcement. We all know what the announcement is. And I'm pretty sure everybody knew, but it's for the show. They had to make it seem like, only the OGs knew of Scotty's announcement beforehand. But he gives Scotty the floor, just like how Chrisean gave Lex the floor. And you know, Scotty lets it be known. Oh, this was Dolly basically saying, yeah, like, sign me up. I want to be a leader, Lemmy. I want to be a leader. I got some ideas. I could turn Zeus up. And that would be nice. I could see Dolly as a leader, but we know they're not going to give it to her because she's still kind of considered like a newgie. This is only like her 3rd season, so we know they're not going to give it to Dolly. Even though I could see Dolly also leading baddies. I could see her leading baddies alongside Natalie. But she's too new for them to give her that title, in my opinion. So yeah, Lemmy gives Scotty the floor, and Scotty lets the other girls know that she is pregnant. And, you know, again, all the girls are happy for her. Everybody's, you know, congratulating her and whatnot. You know, some people like Lex, they felt indifferent. They didn't really care either way. Cause you know, Lex and Scotty, they don't really like fuck with each other like that. So it's understandable. But yeah, she made her announcement, and you know, we all happy for her, right? Like, a baby is a blessing. So whether you like Scotty or not, it is something to congratulate. Scotty is by far not my favorite baddie at all, but you know, a baby is a blessing, and yeah, kudos to her. Kudos to her. It is, what do we say? Scotty with the baby, not Scotty with the body no more. Hopefully she still got her body after she drops the baby. I'm sure she will, because Scotty is an athlete. She is a trainer. She be living in the gym. So I'm sure after she has the baby, you know, she'll be fine. She'll bounce back. You know, she just, as long as she's in the gym, she'll be fine. So anyway, so the next scene we see is Chrisean and Tesehki going at it. Now, apparently, Tesehki was upset because Marsh was there. I really don't know why. I think this is all cap. I'm calling cap. Okay, because if y'all be keeping up with the tea on IG like me, the baddies tea, okay? Before they started filming, Tesehki and Marsh made up. They made up. I think like the day after she made up with Chrisean, she made up with Marsh. So when I saw this, I was like, this is cap. The cap is on Zeus's head. Like, there's definitely something else that happened. I feel like this was all staged because Tesehki and Marsh made up. Okay, they made up. We saw them. They were hanging out with Chrisean and whatever. They were both hanging out with Chrisean, and you know, they made up. So when I saw this, I was like, this is cap. Just like it was cap when Natalie fought Scotty over a plate of food on Baddies East. This was cap. All cap. Okay. So yeah, they try to make it seem like Tesehki and Chrisean were going back and forth because Marsh was there. Bullshit, but it is what it is. So anywho, they argue. Well, it wasn't even really arguing. Tesehki was just going off. She was, you know, doing her big, you know, just doing the most, you know, acting like a She-Hulk, doing the most, hyping up, saying what she gonna do, what she won't do, whatever, you know, just running her mouth, talking her shit, trying to make it look like she doing her big one. And Chrisean is just looking at her like, anywho, whatever, girl. Yeah, you talk your shit, you say whatever, it is what it is. Like, I don't know what the issue is. Next, Marsh, DJ Sky. Let's just go to the next booking, the next location, wherever the hell we gotta go, wherever the hell. Ooh, let me hold up, hold that thought, child, because what we're not gonna have is this laptop dying on me. Chrisean was basically saying, look, Sky, Marsh, enough of this bullshit. This is whack. This is corny. Let's just be on our way to to the next location, wherever we gotta be. And that was that for that scene. So yeah, this was Marsh basically saying like, I don't know what is the problem, why me being here would be like such a issue for her. You know, Marsh, child, they be saying this girl look like a pog, and I just can't unsee it, man. Oh my gosh, I just can't unsee it. From the front, from the side, she just looked like a pug. Anywho, so in the next scene, we see who was it? Okay, so the baddies, they're on their way to their next location. I don't like this look, Rolly. I don't like this confessional look at all. I really think it's the makeup that ruined it. Cause nah, child. I think maybe the wig too. Maybe if she had a different wig without makeup, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Anywho, so they're on their way to the next location, you know, so it's interesting to see how like the OGs and the new Gs, I mean, technically there's no new Gs on this season, it's an all-star season, but it's just interesting to see how all the different girls from the different seasons are, you know, together and how they interact with each other and whatnot. So in this sprinter we have Dolly and we have Tink. A lot of girls on this sprinter kind of have, well, not a lot, but I would say like Dolly and Tink, we all know they have unfinished business from Baddies Midwest. Dolly never had a chance to get that at the reunion because Tink was pregnant and was well into her pregnancy. So now they're on the bus together. So let's see what happens, right? So for the most part, you know, everybody's just vibing, you know, everybody's just having a good time and whatever so far. Then we see on a different sprinter, we see Scotty and I think it was Tavy, KK, and Soft Killer, because she ain't killing nothing. Cole Soft Killer, yeah, she's yet to win a fight on Baddies, child. Hopefully Fauna could give her some tips. So yeah, so they're just talking about, you know, Scotty being pregnant, congratulating her and whatever stuff like that. Nothing special. Then we see on another sprinter, we see Tesehki and her lap dogs. If I could just find a child, like, oh, right here. So we see Tesehki and her 3 lap dogs. The biggest one right here in the cheetah. That's the biggest Tesehki lap dog, child. So they're just talking about Chrisean and Chrisean bringing Marsh on the show. And, you know, Anna being the little chihuahua she is, you know, she just, you know, yapping out her mouth. Oh, yeah, Chrisean should have kept her dirty friend at home and blah, 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 blah. I would love to see Marsh and Anna in a fight with no security. Please, no security, because security be saving Anna's ass every freaking time. I would love to see Anna fight Stunner Girl, Summer, any one of these hoes with no, even Gretch with no security. Please let her fight one of these girls with no security, because Anna be getting saved by security every freaking time. Every time. And that's why she could run her mouth like this, because she knows she's protected. So anywho, they're just talking about, you know, that whole situation, Marsh being there. Mariah had the audacity to say, why did Chrisean even bring Marsh? She's not a cast member. Bitch, you brought your mom. Why did you and Anna fight on Baddies Caribbean? Because your mom was there. Why was your mom there? Why was your mom on set? Why was your mom around the baddies? Did you forget Anna and your mom got into it? What was your mother doing around the baddies? Girl, right message, wrong messenger, okay? Tesehki talking about she does therapy and she's happy that she has Anna and Biggie and Mariah around her because they keep her grounded. I'm like, child, if grounded, girl, you've been crashing out. You've been doing the most crashing out so far. If they're keeping you grounded, if this is grounded, these hoes need to be fired. These hoes need to be fired because grounded where? Grounded where? These hoes ain't keeping you grounded. They need to be fired. Grounded where? You were better off bringing your therapist on the Baddies tour instead of these bitches. These bitches can't keep you. These hoes are afraid of you. They are afraid of you, Tesehki. Keep you grounded. Tesehki be popping off and they just be standing there in the background like furniture. Grounded where? Girl, Tesehki, she was funny for that. Keep her grounded. These hoes can't keep you grounded. Anywho, so yeah, they were just talking, you know, Anna, she running her mouth, blah, 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 blah. Talking about, oh, if Marsh want to run a fade, she's going to have to see all three of them. Three of them meaning her, Mariah, and Biggie. And she was like, you know, if DJ Sky wanted to, she could get it, blah, 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 blah. Man, please, like I said before, let Anna fight these hoes with no security, please. I want to see something. Anywho, so that was pretty much it for this episode. I will say, oh yes, how could I forget? The finale. So Summer calls out Tinka. Okay, like I said, they were all talking, they were all, you know, chatting and whatnot. And Summer decides to, you know, we gotta love Summer. She's so messy. So Summer calls out Tinka and she's like, you got an issue with Dolly. And Tinka's like, Summer, girl, what are you talking about? If I had an issue with Dolly, I would have told you I had an issue with Dolly. I'll never hold my tongue. If I got an issue with someone or something, I will say it. Y'all will know. So, you know, they started, you know, bringing back some stuff that happened on Baddies Midwest, you know, whatnot. And, you know, Dolly, she decides to get up and she, you know, decides to refresh Tinka's mind and say, you know, you did say such and such when I had my issue with Diamond. You did say blah, 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 blah about me. So Tinka's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I did say that. So like, what's good? What's tea? And then Dolly was like, what's good with you? So, you know, Dolly really called out that fade. Okay. Dolly put her bag down. She put her purse down. And, you know, while Tinka is in the middle of arguing, going back and forth with Summer, Dolly's getting ready. She's getting prepared. And Dolly was like, you know, I don't think Tink was really ready to fight with Dolly. But yeah, Dolly, she got active. She got active, and we don't really get to see them really get active. We see like the first like 5 seconds, but yeah, they got active, and we're gonna see the rest of that on the next episode. Okay, so this is where this episode ends. And yeah, guys, this episode, I liked it. A lot happened. It seemed like it went by pretty fast because there was a lot happening. There was just fades on top of fades on top of fades. And yeah, in the next episode, we're actually going to see Natalie. So y'all let me know how you felt about this review. Y'all let me know how you feel about Tink versus Dolly. How you feel about Tesehki versus Summer. How you feel about Biggie versus Smiley. If you feel like Smiley was faking that seizure, or if she wasn't. I don't feel like she was, but a lot of people, you know, a lot of people thought she did. Let me know how you feel about Tink sneaking Tommy and let me know how you feel about Chrisean and Lex going back and forth. Do you feel like Lex was in the right? Do you feel like Chrisean had a point? Do you feel like, you know, just let me know how you feel. Who was right, who was wrong? Chrisean, Lex, because even now they're still going back and forth about it. It's more so Lex going back and forth. It's more so Lex, you know, really like explaining and whatever, because Chrisean is trying to make it seem like something that it's not. So anywho, if y'all keep up with the tea on the blogs, y'all will know what I'm talking about, right? So that's it for this review, guys. I will see y'all in the next review. So don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. And I will see y'all